have an entire series debunking God or whatever the fuck. You're
Yo, yo. Just getting this shit set up real quick. Yo, yo. There I am.
Let's go.
Here we go. Still got the fake ring up. Oof. Ooh, that was close, huh? Damn. I want a monument. Monument definitely impacts from behind. We all know that. Uh-oh. I ducked. What is that? BBB too strong. Please nerf. I'm mad I can't reach. The 4-4B troll. Not really troll, but bait. Alright, let's just find something to listen to while we play. Maybe a video, maybe some music. I don't know. Watch some Dion Predator catches. That's always fun. The spice nobody wanted. I wonder what kind of spice that is, huh? Mace. Yo, my game just fucking went down. That's so lame. Because of Orse logging in his team. Why do I fucking care if my friends are logging in his team? Why is that more of a priority than my fucking game? Ever. No, the big swing. Collecting every soul in Morrowind? Ridiculous. Our good boy Nick is gone. That's too bad. He's always fun to play with. Oh man. Ugh. It's almost my bedtime already, boy. Time just flies.
Let's go.
Brandon Schwab lawsuit, who cares? Nintendo's being sued for bricking consoles already. Everybody hates Ironheart. Oh man. Damn, got me. What? Why'd I drop out of stance? Ah, damn. Thought I was going to get my counter hit. Oof. Let's do it again. Oh, come on, 3B, do better than that. Uh-oh. I mean, it should have hit with the first hit. It's weird. I can barely reach my mouse, goddammit. Harpy Tri-Brigade deck. That sounds fun.
Hypothetical situation. You're sitting at home and the entire world plunges into nuclear winter. Life gets a bit worse. Every morning you develop a new and exciting form of cancer. And every night, somewhere in the world, an orphan is dissolved by acid rain. But that's not even the bad part. The bad part is the cockroaches. We don't really know why, but they're doubling every single day.
Oh,
Start
no.
with one roach, 2 weeks later, you've got 16,000. Give it another week, and it's 2 million. And no, they're not very friendly. To survive
2 million rad roaches, bro. Insane.
Build your defenses, hone your skills, and utilize a vast arsenal of weapons, or you'll die painfully. The choice is yours, and that wasn't a hypothetical. It's real. So let's get to work. But first, I have to tell you something. I am a proponent of diversity. I don't think we have enough of it. In fact, I want to maximize the differences between human races until we achieve a fantasy world with goblins, dwarves, and the Turkish. Which is why 7 years ago, I petitioned NASA to slow the Earth's rotation and finally walk us to the sun, such that America would constantly bask in the sun's radiance, while China would exist in perpetual darkness and slowly evolve into a mole society. I thought that would be pretty interesting. I also had a plan to turn the Philippines into gnomes, but unfortunately the frauds at NASA were afraid of my visionary ideas, and they promptly rejected my proposal, which sent me into a deep depression. The only thing that was able to cheer me up was the sponsor of today's video, Zenless Zone Zero. Don't let the acronym fool you. ZZZ is a very exciting free-to-play 3D urban fantasy action role-playing game. That's VEF2P3DUFARPG.
Jesus Christ,
for
what an
the
acronym.
game features a futuristic setting in the post-apocalypse, where you can utilize a wide variety of characters to explore the world, battle countless enemies, and find new gear. But most importantly, Zenless Zone Zero just entered version 2.0, which introduces a brand new area, Waifei Peninsula, that you can explore using one of the new agents, Yijuan, Pan Yinhu, or Zhu Fufu. My favorite is Yishuan, because she's not a wild animal or a child. Additionally, Zenless Zone Zero is celebrating its anniversary this month by offering special events for players to earn rewards, such as a free S-Rank agent, an S-Rank W engine, 30 limited channel pulls, and much more. Personally, I like to keep it simple. I select Yijuan, load into a nondescript locale, and horribly beat its denizens until I forget about the stresses of my modern life. It feels good, and I want that for you too. So give Zenless Zone Zero a try for free. It's available now on PC,
Oh, you finally
mobile,
in back. Let's go.
and it just launched on Xbox. So click the link in the description and use code ZZZ20Reggie to get started with 60 polychrome,
Entertain me.
6,666 Denny. How exciting. Now, back to the video. The rules of this challenge are very simple. On day 1, at exactly 12 p.m., 2 roaches will spawn and try to kill me. I will defeat them, because I am marginally more intelligent. Every day after that, their numbers will double, until presumably the entire map is covered in 10 million rad roaches, at which point God himself won't be able to save us. Also, just for fun, we're playing on 400% game speed, so the days are very short.
Oh my God.
Now, the only way to stop the insect apocalypse is to destroy their leader, the King of Roaches, Reggie Blataria. Calling yourself the King of Roaches is basically a self-diagnosis for schizophrenia, but it's not slowing him down any, because Mr. Blataria is a very powerful enemy that commands an army of insects, and he won't even spawn onto the map until we reach level 35. So our goal is to power level to 35 before the roaches overwhelm us, then confront their king and put a stop to this once and for all. I did consider attempting this challenge on survival mode, but I get enough cock and ball torture at home, so I don't need to outsource that to Todd Howard. We'll be playing on very hard. Our journey begins in the bathroom mirror. Here we meet humanity's last hope for survival. His name, Gut Fuckman, and he will be the greatest exterminator to ever live. Now, in order to kill a roach, we need to think like a roach. So I set my intelligence to 1 and max out my luck. This is going to allow us to access the Idiot Savant perk for power leveling. Everything else doesn't really matter, so just spend your remaining time giving your character acromegaly and call it a night. Once that's done, we skip the opening tutorial and quickly fight our way through the vault. Now outside in the world at 1 p.m., the clock is ticking. At this point, you probably got a few questions for me. How
I don't know what hit.
power level to 35? Where is the Roach King? And most importantly, why is there a dead Pakistani on my couch? I'll answer most of these in time. Just follow along. For power leveling, we've got
Let's go.
And the first step is to obtain Preston Garvey. Unfortunately, a couple other people had the same idea, so I had to use my superior diplomatic skills to convince them to change their mind. Dale Carnegie would be proud. After that, we joined up with Preston, jumped in a suit
he's
of
giving them to me.
camouflage, died painfully to the local wildlife, and then made our way back to Sanctuary by 11 p.m. Now that we've got access to settlement buildings...
Whoa, hit the instant transmission behind him, goddamn.
Shelving. Allow me to explain.
I love that
Building
shit,
settlement
except when it
furniture
happens to
rewards
me.
Experience, and the cheapest thing to build is wooden and metal shelving. We are going to deconstruct every item in this entire town.
I kind of miss scrapping stuff in Fallout 4.
If we do this right, we can probably hit level 15 by tomorrow morning. So, let it begin. I start demolishing everything.
Oh,
Street
no.
lamps,
Zod.
fence posts, entire houses, even that chair you're sitting on. I'm afraid that's actually a shelf
Come to
in
steal my
progress.
win streak,
Gonna have to
Zod.
take that. Preston's face contorts in horror as I tear the plumbing out of his walls just to build more shelves, but he's powerless to stop me. I work all night and into the morning until the first spawn of roaches hit. 2 of them attack me, but I'm so hopped up on construction fumes and asbestos that they never stood a chance. By destroying all
Construction
public
fumes and
infrastructure, not only
asbestos.
do
Let's
I
go,
receive
baby.
the satisfaction of knowing Mama Murphy will die of hypothermia, but I also receive 1,100 steel ingots and 2,600 planks of wood. So now we can begin the method. Enter build mode and find a wall you really like. This part is important because you'll be staring at it for the next 2 hours. Now start building shelves. Each one gives us 2 XP, and since I am a mentally challenged man, we have a high chance of triggering Idiot Savant to triple our XP gains. Once you're all out of materials, deconstruct the shelves for a 50% refund and start all over. By the time you're done, the sound of your own neurodivergent laughter should be burned into your brain like a cattle prod. And you should also be level 16, which is nearly halfway to our goal of 35. Not bad. I pick up a few perks that increase our damage reduction and help us gather more ammunition. But with no more wood or metal, it's time for us to move on to Phase 2, Research and Development. In a matter of weeks, we'll be wading through a sea of roaches. And if we want to come out on the other side not looking like hammered dog shit, we're going to need to get a roach-killing exoskeleton. In terms of physical protection,
Not Daniel
our
Larson,
current
boy.
power armor exists somewhere between Iron Man cosplay
I wonder if he's still in
and
jail.
full of semen, which is to say I really don't want to wear it, and it's time to make some changes. First stop is the robotics disposal ground. I head there, making sure to kill as many innocent people as I can in the process. Their 7 experience points are an invaluable contribution to humanity's survival, and the world will not soon forget them. Arriving at the destination, we scavenge a few fusion cores, convince a robot to kill himself, and then come across some T-51
Why you make
power
robot
armor.
kill
This
himself? He's
is
just a nice
upgrade.
guy.
After that, I raid the nearby
Damn, he's in the air, so no
satellite
lethal
base
hit.
for supplies.
Damn.
This is where we meet a man named Akak, who cripples my brain with a minigun. Very cool, Akak. Thank you. By the time we're done socializing with the locals, we get hit with the next wave of roaches. Only 4 this time, so nothing too serious. Arriving back at the base, we add our T-51 pieces onto the power armor. Now we just need some legs, an arm, and a torso to complete the set. Fortunately, along the west edge of the map, there's half a dozen armor spawns, so I set a waypoint in that direction and get to work. Arriving at a Bible camp, I kill all the counselors to stop them from molesting me. The camp leader even dropped this legendary wrist guard that turns invisible after being hit. Very nice. Oh, and also, I found Professor Goodfields in the grimdark...
No! Oh, wow, we both whiffed? What
Even
the
the
fuck?
robots are addicted to fentanyl. Proceeding further
Oh, thank
south,
God, I was scared I was gonna hit.
stockpile, where I am warmly received by several Molotov cocktails and an attack dog. After returning the favor, I loot a T-51 leg and a combat shotgun, which I made
Shit.
sure to test out on the next
Man.
wave of roaches.
I low-key wanna go back and play some Fallout.
16, then
I got a
32.
Fallout
So
tattoo.
we're
I
running
love
out of
Fallout.
time to finish this armor. Moving on, we come across a barn with a T-51
Oh, God.
left leg. Now we just need the arm, and I think I know where to find it. The only thing standing in our way is my least favorite enemy in the Fallout franchise, Flying Bug. I am a simple man. I see a
Yeah,
stairway or a
Flying Bug is
Cazador, and
annoying,
I
especially
experience
Cazador. Jesus Christ,
suicidal
Cazadors.
ideation. no exceptions. My first attempt at killing the stingwing involved me shooting at it, doing no damage, getting poisoned,
Why are they so
and then
tanky,
being
bro?
unable to heal myself because my
That's one-
legendary armor
I guess it's
turned
'cause he's
artificially
leveled up
invisible.
and his weapons
Shortly
are still
after,
ass.
I die in the streets, only to realize my most recent save was an hour ago.
No.
This was a compelling gameplay experience. After an hour of killing, I worked my way back to the stingwing.
Oh
This
my
time,
God.
we used a hunting rifle to get it to 20% health, before miraculously missing a headshot at point-blank range
Jesus
or dying on the
Christ.
spot. Now listen, I've been outsmarted by bugs before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. So for the third attempt, I brought out the minigun, and
I
things
can't believe
went
that
a
reached
little
me, bro.
differently.
God damn.
One of those bullets could have been a dead radroach, and for that, I will never forgive the stingwing population. Anyway, with that taken care of, I made my way to this military convoy, found the last piece of armor, and fast traveled back to the base to complete our set. It looks positively beautiful, but it's missing one thing, something emblematic of the human race.
Oh,
that
2A
makes
plus
us
B, too good.
fundamentally better than the bugs. That thing is capitalism. By harnessing the power of branded sponsorships, our extermination exoskeleton now has increased damage and energy resistance. The communist bug maxers don't stand a chance. So we're on day 4 of the Roach Apocalypse. We're level 17 with a full set of power armor. This is pretty good, but we're only 1 week away from 1,000 roaches trying to rip us limb from limb. So what's my next move? I ask myself this question, and I answer it intuitively. I need a flamethrower. Now there's probably a lot of ways to get one of these, but I like doing things the hard way. We're going to travel across the map to a place full of people who hate me, have several flamethrowers, and at least one of them wants to throw us in a giant pot of molten iron. I believe this will be a spiritually enriching experience. So I fast travel to a nearby farm to begin the journey. I arrive at the farm just in time to spawn 16 roaches and
nar.
helpless inhabitants. This is what we call a happy accident. After cleaning up the roaches, I get back on the road toward the metalworks. Normal roads might have speed limits or a toll booth to slow you down. Fallout roads slow you down by forcing you to spend 20 minutes beating a scorpion to death with a tire iron. This is an element of the post-apocalypse that I find personally disagreeable.
Can't believe I fucking
after
reached-
using the scorpion's liquefied remains, to
Man, I didn't
fill a
want 6
pothole,
B plus
I did
K. I
some
wanted
looting,
6
found a
6 B plus
sledgehammer,
K.
and then
God
made my
dang
way
it.
to the Finch farm. Here we find Abraham Finch, who is terribly distraught because his son Jake just ran off to join the Raiders over at the metalworks. I look into his eyes and smile reassuringly. Don't worry, old man. I'm going there right now to kill everyone. Quest accepted. I arrive at what I believe is the metalworks, but I wasn't 100% sure until I stumbled into a shed full of flamethrowers. Oh yeah, this is exactly where we want to be. All we have to do now is kill everyone inside, take their weapons, and then we'll be prepared for the next week of roaches. From the perspective of an invasion, my assault against the metalworks was an astonishing failure. But as a metaphysical
I just got attacked
exploration of
twice.
the very concept of pain, it was a remarkable success. You see, the problem is this little skull right here. This is the equivalent of the skull and crossbones you can find on a bottle of drain cleaner, meaning this is incredibly dangerous, and you'll probably die if you drink it. But that didn't stop me back then, and it won't stop me now. Eventually, after many landmines and countless sledgehammer homicides, we managed to fight our way into the metalworks. Our power armor, for lack of a better term, is absolutely fun, but I didn't let that hold us back. In fact, I started role-playing as whatever the opposite of an occupational health and safety officer is, because I'm just running around beating people with a hammer. Wow, thank God this guy's wearing a hard hat. Otherwise, he could have done
Oh,
really
come
well.
on.
I decided to
How
yes
lame.
and my own roleplay by unlocking this robot and programming him to shoot people with railroad spikes. This is the kind of work environment I can endorse. Once everyone's dead, I raid the lunchroom and use a collection of coffee pots and dinner forks to repair my armor. Then we head into the last area to confront the final raiders. Arriving there, I find a raid boss named Slag, and also Abraham's son, Jake, who's having second thoughts about joining a gang of criminals that get impaled by railroad spikes for a living. I had this whole plan about how I was going to convince Jake to leave the raiders and return to his father. But before I could do any of that, I accidentally spawned 32 man-eating roaches, and things got a little messy. In fact, I'm pretty sure I beat Jake to death with a sledgehammer. After that, I minigun Slag's bodyguards and then spent 5 minutes determining how many concussions were required to liquefy this man's brain. The answer was
Jesus.
47. Once Slag was dead, I looted his incendiary sword, grabbed some flamethrowers, and threw Jake's body into the pot
Damn.
of molten iron. Sorry, bud, but if your father was to find your pulverized corpse, that would implicate me in a murder which I did commit, but sincerely don't want to be punished for. After that, I leave the metalworks and go back to Abraham to receive 300 XP for, quote, trying trying to save his son.
Why do you leave
Got
right
the
away?
armor, the weapons, and the indomitable spirit of a serial killer. Let's head back to the base and prepare for the next wave of roaches. We arrive at 7 a.m. The first thing I do is modify our flamethrower, swap it over to a napalm fuel tank, increase the capacity, and elongate the barrel. Much like a purebred dog, hundreds of years of inbreeding have resulted in the modern exterminator being reduced to a pale imitation of his forefathers. Pesticides and
Goddamn.
sticky traps. These are the weapons of a coward. But a napalm flamethrower and 5-ton military-grade exoskeleton, this is how bugs were meant to be killed. It's about 8 a.m., which gives us 4 hours to prepare our defenses for the wave of 64 roaches. We build a few generators, some fog lights, and a combat platform to await our destiny. Our destiny spawns gracefully on the bridge in front of us, and I waste no time incinerating it, stripping the flesh from its
Bullshit.
corpse, and then cooking it into a delicious meal. Things are going to get pretty serious from this point, and we're still 15 levels away from being able to kill the Roach King. So how are we going to close that gap? Well, there's two options. Option A, when we were at the metalworks, I picked up the schematics to build copper statues. These give a ton of experience and can easily power level us if we're willing to use an item duplication glitch to generate infinite copper. I tested this out on another save, and I can assure you, it works very well. However, I personally believe glitching and exploiting to be a shameful tactic devised by the British to undermine our moral integrity.
Oh my God,
so
bro.
instead, we'll be doing option B, which is waiting. In a few days, thousands of roaches will try to eat us, but if we're strong enough, we'll eat them first, and we'll be rewarded with thousands of experience points. So we're going to fortify our defenses to stab, crush, shoot, and incinerate our way to level 35. But first,
Yeah, fuck
scavenge
around
some
and get
supplies,
fucked.
because this
My
ain't gonna
boy.
cut it. My primary goal is to construct a containment chamber, which will allow me to concentrate the roach population in one location for a more
What
convenient
the fuck, man?
genocide.
What's
I feel
even the
compelled
point
to explain that
of
this
being
is
able
not
to
an allegory for the Holocaust.
go to the side
Please
with a
stop
little
recording my
dance?
video. It's nearly noon, and the construction isn't complete, but luckily I don't think we'll need it yet. You see, when leveling up, I grabbed this perk right here. Pain Train is a power armor-based ability that allows you to turn your body itself into a weapon of destruction. By sprinting into our enemies, we can damage them. Against a full-grown man, this is rather inconvenient, but against a roach, I suspect it will be lethal. Now it's time to find out. And remember, this upcoming insect genocide is sponsored by Sugar Bob's Breakfast Cereal. When you feel that crunch, you know it's gotta be Sugar Bob. 12 p.m. sharp, 128 roaches spawn on the bridge in front of us, and we run straight
Yo, what the
through them like an
fuck?
NFL
How's it gonna jump
linebacker
over my
blitzing a
kick?
group
It's
of
so lame.
preschoolers. This
It
pushed
came
us
out
to
so
level
fast
21.
too. Like what the fuck?
Strategy is working. I did a few more flybys, and then Mercy killed the stragglers with an incredibly painful flaming sword. Just another day in the post-apocalypse. Day 13. This one snuck up on me. I was busy fighting the children of Adam over the contents of this passenger airplane when I lost track of time and accidentally spawned in 256 roaches, which proceeded to kick the ever-living shit out of me. This was terribly embarrassing. At first, I was killing the children of Adam because I hate them, but now I'm doing it so they can never tell anyone about what happened here. I did manage to survive this onslaught through the liberal and sustained application of copious amounts of napalm, but I'm getting low on fuel, and if we get caught out of our power armor on the next wave, it's not going to end well.
Why he would jump?
As I was sifting through
Maybe
this
thought I was gonna
pile
B
of
plus K.
roaches,
I bet it could grab me if I B
realization.
plus K'd and
That's a lot
backface him.
of dead bodies, and it's starting
That's
to
kind of
affect
a
my
jump.
frame rate. This is a problem which is only going to get worse unless we find a solution. And thankfully, I've got an idea. In Diamond City, there's a meat vendor that sells a wide variety of salmonella, but she also sells
A wide
book on
variety of
butchery,
salmonella.
specifically
Beautiful.
insect butchery. If we get that book, we can process these corpses, which will delete them and save our frame rate. So, fellas, we're going to Diamond City.
Who needs
Based on my
frames?
previous videos, I have a questionable relationship with Diamond City, but I am absolutely positive that nothing will go wrong this time. So I began my journey there, and like all journeys in the post-apocalypse, it involved me using a flamethrower to kill a mosquito, using a cancer gun to fend off the homeless, and getting chased through the streets by a suicide bomber. But by 5 a.m., I had successfully made it to the front gate, where I found Piper trying to enter. Yes, I am a normal and well-adjusted man with a car chassis welded to my torso.
Oh my god, I hate the big
No,
swing,
I
bro.
said I'm a psychopath who wants to wear your skin. And just like that, we're in. First things first, we go to the vendor and pick up
Oh
the
my
butchery
God.
skill book. At this point, I should leave. However, I get a bit
Jumping
distracted.
K.
Watch this guy get his
A.
head blown off. Then I tried to drag
Bro,
him
just
into his
stop
corpse
pressing
to
buttons.
cannibalize it. but he got stuck on the wall of this barber shop and I couldn't get him out. So I had to leave him there as their new mascot. Just a little off the top, eh fellas? By the time I was done dicking around, I realized it was already 10:30, which means I'm not going to be able to make it home before the next wave of roaches. So, Diamond City, I'm going to need your help with just one last thing. And just like that, the entire city was swarming with 512 killer roaches. The bugs enveloped the area like a skittering, crunchy blanket.
Oh my god,
and
dude.
I did my best to clear them out, but even with all of the citizens helping, it still took the better part of the afternoon. Also, at some point, I think I accidentally
Whiff. How fucking annoying, bro.
Became hostile. You know the worst part? Killing them doesn't even give experience. It's just a waste of bullets. So I forced myself to punch half the city to death to conserve my ammo. Then I spent 20 minutes jumping around, killing the last of the roaches, before leaving the city under a healthy amount of incoming gunfire. Until next time, Diamond City. After our escape, we head back to the base, arriving at 8:30, which left me just enough time to finish the construction on my cockroach containment device. I call it the cock cage.
Why would it hit him
And
while
now
he's
it's time to test
dashing
it out.
when it makes him
Wave 10
fucking
spawns in as a
low?
pyramid of roaches.
Makes
I
him,
won't
you know,
lie,
duck
I was
highs, but
scared,
all of a sudden that
but I
high wants
manned
to
up
hit.
and ran headfirst into this wall of
God,
flesh.
why can you
My
move
frame
so
rate
fast in the
grinds to a
spin?
halt
That was
as we liquefy
crazy.
hundreds of insects beneath the boots of our
I guess 'cause
power
I'm negative
armor.
for
In the
blocking.
mosh pit
God
of
damn it.
mashed up insects, I can't even tell what's alive and what's dead. So I just keep stomping. Heading toward the exit, I was under the impression I'd killed them all. However, I was very wrong, because not long after, hundreds of roaches sprang forth
Holy
from
shit.
the biomass and pushed me back through the hallway until I ran out of minigun ammo. Dear God, we're about to lose containment. I have to pull the emergency shutdown lever. I battle my way through 2 frames per second and flip the switch. This activates 4 emergency flamethrowers in the hallway, which prevent any more roaches from escaping. After that, I finish off the rest of the bugs with my sword
Holy
as I
shit.
realize what I've gotten myself into. I hate to say it, but the cock cage is getting a little cramped. The original plan was to fix this by butchering all the corpses, but that made a lot more sense
Oh my
when it
God.
didn't take me 20 minutes just to select a single body. The good news is that wave power leveled us to 32. Only 3 more levels to go, and the Roach King will spawn, we'll kill him, and then I can shoot myself in the chest and die happily, knowing I'll never have to do this challenge again. The very bad news is that my computer won't be able to handle doubling the wave again. And I don't think you want to watch the rest of this video in 6 frames per second. So I have made a horrifying decision. Instead of spawning in the next wave of 2,000 roaches, we'll spawn in 500 Mega Death Roid roaches. They have 8 times the attack, 8 times the health, triple speed, and they're fucking huge. Oh,
I hate
also,
the way
they possess
fucking Zod
dog-like
plays so
omniscience,
much.
which means they can detect me from an entire cell away, so hiding won't be an option. Now, unfortunately, our main base is ground zero of an FPS nuke, so we'll need to find a new extermination arena, and I've got one in mind. The Starlight Drive-In is a large area fielding several buildings for shelter and also a number of pre-war cars that can be exploded to deal massive damage to the bugs. I think this is our best chance of survival, so I made my way to the drive-in and waited for the next wave. As I was lighting this car on fire, I felt a familiar feeling. The feeling of my frame rate being crucified as 500 Anavar-infused rad roaches spawn into the world. Luckily, I spawned them on top of this car right as it exploded, and it barely even made a dent. The roaches chased me across the drive-in as I bathed them in Molotov cocktails to very limited success. I try to slash my way through their hordes, but they're quickly ripping apart my power armor. Desperately, I seek refuge in the projection tower. Locking myself inside, I think I'm finally safe, only to find out the roaches are crawling through the windows and hitting me through the walls. This is hell. I climbed 3
Yeah, I'm
floors
tired
higher
of
to
fighting
get out of
already.
their reach, but they're literally scaling the side of the building to get to me. This wasn't so much a difficulty spike as it was a difficulty gangbang with a 99% fatality rate. And as much as I'd love to have my body dumped in the Everglades, I can't let the roaches have that satisfaction. Alright, we need to get even higher. Over there, we can climb the projection screen. I pull out a combat shotgun and make a mad dash for the screen. The roaches are not far behind. I rush inside and slam the door shut. Thank God, we're finally safe. Looking down at the roaches, I think I'll have a nice relaxing afternoon, picking them off with a hunting rifle, when suddenly we're knocked off the screen by a climbing roach. And just like that, the horde is upon us. We're encased in killer bugs, and it is immensely
Oh my fucking
painful.
God.
If you've ever been curious what it would feel like to be ripped apart by 1,000 grappling hooks, then you should probably talk to a psychiatrist. But I imagine it feels something like this. The only thing keeping us us alive at this point.
I hate Zod, bro. He's just dying to do a jump attack. You're just dying to do it. I should have CE'd. Why didn't I CE after launcher? Would have been game.
You see, I spent 2 hours this morning placing landmines in a nearby field. And like it or not, running through an unmarked minefield currently represents our best chance at survival. So I forced my way through the dog pile and led the bugs into our trap. The roaches stormed the field and were lit up by about 3 dozen anti-personnel mines. This managed to thin their numbers down to about 100 at the cost of accidentally breaking both of our legs. After this mildly traumatic event,
I hate Zod's game plan. It's literally just to be as obtrusive as possible. He just wants to trade.
It wasn't until we made it to
That's
this
it. He
storage
just wants to
shed
trade.
that we finally had
Anything
some
to trade.
semblance of safety. In case you're wondering, it's 5:30.
Infinite jumping.
We spent 5.5 in-game hours pissing our pants and getting curb stomped by roaches. But now we've got the upper hand. I spent the next 6 hours exercising my Second Amendment rights until the number of bugs was sufficiently low for me to meet them in the field for melee combat. By 11 p.m., it's finally over, and we're level 37. Finally, we can confront the King Roach and finish this. But first, we're going to need one thing. After repairing our armor, I head to the robotics disposal site, where hidden among the burnt-out cars, we find this. A Fat Man mini-nuke launcher, and over at the satellite station, exactly one mini-nuke. This should be more than enough. Let's go introduce the Roach King to the concept of dying in nuclear Armageddon. I've never actually met him before, but apparently he's somewhere near the Corvega factory, so we head in that direction. After some traveling, we arrive there, but the only person I can find is clearly not a fan of the channel. Briefly running for my life leads me to a bombed-out ruin, which was strangely populated by rad roaches. And then I see him, Reggie Plataria, the leader of the roaches. He's fielding pretty nice armor and a fucking minigun, but after what we just survived, this should be a piece of cake. We've only got one ammo, so I take my time lining up the perfect shot, before remembering I'm firing a nuclear missile. So as long as I hit the building, we'll be fine. Enter VATS. 9% chance to hit, no problem. I send it, and then tragedy strikes. As the mini-nuke flies through the air, Wave 12 spawns in. An entire goddamn wall of 1,000.
Oh my god, bro.
Dear God,
You know, armor through my CE? That's crazy.
the gods themselves are mocking us, laughing in our face. But that's just my idiot savant perk triggering 500 times in a row. How humbling. The surviving roaches quickly swarm us as I power level into the mid-40s. I force my way into the building to finish off Plataria, but he escapes out the window as his bugs delay me on the stairs. I follow him outside and get a few good hits off before his roaches throw me 30 feet across the field like some kind of arthropod tidal wave. Every time I close the distance on him, the bugs launch me across the parking lot, but he's running out of bugs. Roach King makes the mistake of stepping out of position, and we charge straight into him, landing the finishing blow with our sword to finally put an end to his reign of tyranny. We finish off the remaining roaches, exit the power armor, and inspect his charred corpse. On it, we find the junky shish kebab, which is the exact same weapon I've been using this whole time, except this one does more damage if you're addicted to heroin. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better weapon. Well, there you have it. He's dead. No king rules forever. However, without their master's command, the insect scourge will become an even greater threat to this world. Control must be maintained. Like it or not, there must always be a Roach King. That's going to be it for this video. We've utilized a wide array of extermination techniques and our own brain damage to power level to 35 and end the insect apocalypse. I want to thank this month's patrons for supporting the channel, and finally, thank you for watching.
God damn. I can't get any stand switches, man. Come on.
It's 6:30 a.m. I wake up to find the police beat me in my sleep again. My name is Reginald Weekway. I live in Tenement B, and I believe in a balanced lifestyle. In the mornings, if I'm not hallucinating, I make sure to inhale deeply from a bag of unidentified mushrooms before going upstairs to deposit several live rats in my neighbor's apartment. They do not like this. After that, I rush to my job at the telemarketing agency.
Yo, what is
doing my
trash,
best to
bro?
avoid eye contact with the local homeless. Before starting my shift, I make sure to consume an entire bottle of windshield wash. This prevents me from dying of alcoholic withdrawals on the job. I spend my lunch break in the courtyard, drinking cooking oil from a 10-liter drum while trying not to overdose on antidepressants. After finishing work, I invest
Of
my
course,
entire
just be.
paycheck in rotten vegetables and alcohol, drinking somewhere between 12 to 15 bottles back at my apartment before realizing I desperately need to use the washroom. However, no one in my building has plumbing, so I die from shit seizures in my neighbor's living room. This is Open Sewer, an urban survival game set in the harshest environment of all, Finland. An outbreak of deadly fungus has left us quarantined here. Unfortunate, but for our troubles, we are given ownership
God, I
of a
hate Spindle
derelict
so
apartment
much.
building with few tenants. Our goal? Go from being a horrible landlord to a more profitable horrible landlord.
How
Can we
dumb.
rent out every room in the building, or will we die in the process? There's only one way to know. But first, a word from our sponsor. The Matchless Kung Fu is a unique Chinese martial arts game now available on Steam. Own feces. You know what? I think we're going to fit in just fine. Now our main goal is to rent out all 12 of our apartments. So let's go check out the building. There it is, a monolith of asbestos majestically beckoning us from behind a barbed wire fence. I paid the $10 fee to cross the bridge and head over to inspect it. After spending a few minutes surveying the tenement, I come to the following conclusion. This place is a shithole. There's obscure graffiti
Is it
all
still
over the
Fallout?
walls, toxic mushrooms in
No,
almost
it ain't
every
Fallout.
unit, and I'm pretty sure
Get
our
outta here.
only tenant is actively
Ooh, a little debate? Nah. Angstrom Levy was a fucking hater, bro. Let's see. Regular ass grab. Come on, man. Why'd I do that? Why is that combo? Of course, 3B misses a jump somehow. Come on, man. I didn't need to resist edge, but you know what? I'm just glad it worked. God, I hate 66K, bro. Don't even wait, just attack. That's how you gotta fight, Zod. Oh my god. No way! That take my grab or was it too slow? Either way, that was gay. God, I hate that hitting on sidestep, dude. That's so dumb. Oh my god, bro. That is so fucking lame. That was literally like lethal hit range too for me. How lame. I swear, I'll just be pressing buttons and seeing what happens. Oh my god, that's so lame. What is that damage? What the fuck? That was a third of my health bar. Almost going on to half. Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, of course he doesn't hit Astaroth. They're gonna ring me out. I think he could have run me out there early. Oh, how frustrating. Look at that missing. Just totally animation, doesn't hit. Hitbox is still there though. You still die. Oh my god, bro. Oh no, I was too thirsty. Oh no, I was double too thirsty. God, that should have humped him, dude. That's so fucking dumb. Literally inside of him, can't get a hit. Like, what the fuck is that? It's so frustrating fighting Zod, bro. Doesn't do a single combo. Just keeps spamming attacks so he can trade with you. Wins because he does more damage in trade. Like, oh my fucking god, it's so old and lame. Constantly canceling moves. Really only works online. I hate that shit so much. Come cancel moves offline. See what happens. Why is that combo? How does he have time? You whiff completely and you still get a tech duck off of 6-6K? Like, get out of here. Again, completely whiffed last time. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, bro. How does CE not break rage? Surely a CE is a heavy attack. Guess I should have done 4 CE. Surely that's a heavy attack. Okay. Where's my fucking... Oh my god. Bro. This shit is so cringe. Oh wow, I'm surprised I didn't rage through it. Just fucking killed me. Oh my god, bro, do it again. Why would you not just do it again? It's so dumb. What a brain dead fucking soul charge. You should just always spin to win. It's plus, it's a mid horizontal. Why wouldn't you do it? Breaks guards. Bro, that's so dumb. Oh, cool. Here comes more spinning. That's where you fucked up. You didn't spin. What the fuck is that? I'm surprised it didn't grab me out of the air. Fucking Astroth over here. Ooh, well, on to the cooking
Today we're
shows.
making 3 big old cauldrons of chili from 3 of YouTube's most popular chefs. Now, each of these guys has made a name for themselves on the internet. They all have their own cooking styles, thought processes, and vibes, and people love them for different reasons. But today we're going to push that love down deep within our consciousness and pit them against each other to see which one of these blokes makes the best dang bowl of chili out of it. Then at the end of the video, we're going to fuse all of these different bowls of chilies together to create
My
the
boy
ultimate
just has to jump.
Franken chili. In typical fashion, let's begin with the most complicated chili.
Why is that combo? That pisses me off so much.
That cooler older cousin
Has
who
no
knew
business
all the
comboing.
underground punk bands and had the buildings established. Crazy antics and necktats aside, he was a bona fide chef who had been cooking professionally since he was a young lad. He opened his first restaurant in Toronto and still runs a few spots in Canada, I believe, but once Vice got their hipster hands on him, it was GG. The cooking world would never be the same. Now, the Big Dog style is just that. Big, punchy, bold, and unapologetically Mexican. Maddie, if you're watching this,
Oh my God.
let's hang out. I will buy you a beer.
Bro is so thirsty for jump attacks.
It's a good pet.
Look at him.
We'll buy you chocolate milk. I'll bring the chili. And you can do that. So this is Maddie's veggie.
I'm in the middle of sidestepping, man. Why the fuck?
Because it is so frito, it's kind of what it is. Instead of adding, chopped onion, celery, and carrots and sauteing them, he just takes everything and blends it down into a puree. It's actually a cool and interesting technique I've never seen used in chili. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'll leave links to the original video below too. But all we gotta do now is do this up. We're just gonna pop all this in the blender, and of course I'm gonna get it all over the floor.
God, it's so annoying, bro. He just wants to fucking jump to fuck things up so he can hit me in return. So fucking annoying.
Let's throw it back. The cool thing is vegetables are made of mostly water, so this is just gonna break right down. I'll let the other half of the veg. So Frito done. Let's brown some good. And pork. Maddie's beef. And pork. To me,
I
this
guess
is what makes
everything.
it
Oh my God, bro.
We have some bone-in product and ground product. We have our beef short ribs, our pork
I
ribs,
see he does 6'6"K, so it gives him armor the whole time, and then fucking
very
spins.
meaty,
Like, oh
like
my
I said,
God.
very maximalist. All we gotta do is kind of put these in
How
there, give
frustrating
them
and
color,
annoying.
brown them off nicely. Then we're gonna take them out and add them to our chili later.
Why can't it? I just can't believe 214A comes out that fast too. They really just made
With
that
the
shit
short
do
ribs here, I'm
everything.
leaving them whole because that's what he seemed to do in his video. But you could cut these kind of like by the bone here and kind of make them a little more easy to eat when you pull them out from the chili. They're going to be one little piece that you can eat off the bone rather than a huge piece. For the pork ribs, you're just going to eat those right off the bone. It's really important that we give all this stuff good color because remember, brown food is flavorful food. Really take your time here and make sure to get color on your meats. Can you open that window?
Oh my God. Are you serious? God, I hate that Astaroth is just always a little bit too far away because he's so big.
But we still have flavor to harvest. Just gonna deglaze this in here. We'll let that reduce down a tiny bit. Oh, look at me, look at me. So we have our wonderful deglazed fond flavor juice. We're gonna set this aside and get going on the chili with sofrito. Into a big old Dutch boy, we're going with some olive oil and our sofrito vegetable mix. Chili smoothie. We're just gonna toast that off a bit. We just want to bring this to a low simmer and kind of just toast it off a bit, stir it around so it doesn't burn. Just gonna cook out some of that water. Now we're gonna add in our spices. Got a whole lot of stuff here. Just gonna stir that around. We're gonna kind of bloom and wake up within that sofrito. We're gonna go with some tomato paste, a little more beer, that here cook out just a little bit. Then we'll go in with
Yo,
our
are you kidding me?
tomato puree. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, oh! Take some of that blip to the iron. Some beef stock. Some of the jus from that reduction. A cup of H2O. Stir that all up.
Of course, that reached me.
Nice, nice, nice. This will reduce over time, taking up a bit. But not before we add in all of the meats. We got our short ribs, we got our pork ribs, and we got our ground pork. Continue to stir. And we got our ground pork. For the final touches, we got some baby, a dash of baby sauce.
Oh my god. If I had just crouched and while rising, I could have got him.
Now we just slosh that around. Look at that. Really robust. As this cooks down, this will reduce, it will develop flavor. I'll keep stirring it so the ground meat crumbles in better. And I mean, this thing is laden. This is such a mighty chili. I don't know.
Can't believe I'm 9-3, bro.
Now we're just gonna pop the lid on, slightly
For
ajar,
Zod.
put this on the back burner to simmer
Oh
for
my
about 2
god, how
hours.
cringe.
Brian Lagerstrom is an ex-cook turned content creator, and let me tell you, he's got some of the cleanest videos on the internet. So Brian cut his teeth in restaurants, actually right here in Chicago. Like so many others, his channel really took off during the pandemic. Only, I don't know, this dude's work has stood the test of time. If you watch his videos, they're crispy, they're neat, they're very well done, well filmed. His thumbnails are... Now, Brian certainly has prowess in the savory department and with bread. But can the dude make a solid bowl of chili? Let's find out. Brian's protein chooses beef short ribs. So these are boneless. I cut these off of the short rib themselves to make these beautiful little chunks, and I put them in the freezer to solidify a little bit so they're easier to process in the food processor. So all we're gonna do now is kind of make our own little custom beef situation by
Love me some beef short rib, buddy.
we're gonna start with about half.
Like, why can you move forward while you're doing a 214B? That is so dumb. 214A, excuse me.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Before you know it, we got ourselves some freshly ground beef shorties. Chunks in there.
Nice.
So this is a really cool technique that Brian does. He puts all of his ground meat
Yeah, what's
on
up,
a
son?
tray like this. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of salt.
I'm alright.
And this is going to go right
It's
under
almost
the
time for
broiler
bed, but
so that this gets uniformly
I'm too
browned
pissed
and
off to
it's
go to
not
bed and
in
fucking
the pan too. You know, you don't get the grease
Zod's
all over the place.
pissing
Don't
me
burn your
off.
hand like you do.
Oh, where's my phone? Oh, it's gone forever.
Here's the other. I mean broiler. Top rack. And we just cook those until everything again. Look at that.
Nice.
How easy is that?
Why is he doing 22B into 4? That doesn't.
Crumble this beef
I don't think that
up,
ever works.
and that's going to be our ground beef for the chili. Kind of still get some of those juices and the fat that's around it. I'm going to leave that not super crumbly. I'm going to keep some chunks of it. Alright, beef done. We got to make the ow. Alright, so for Brian, I love this. He uses real chilies. I do this in my chili too. So on this board here, we have some toasted, dried chilies. We have guajillo, we have chili ancho, and casilla. So I toasted these in the oven, like I said.
I can't stand Zod. Half because he's Astaroth. Half because he's just fucking trying to trade all the
You can
time.
keep some seeds in if you want some extra spice, but I like to work with them like this. So for everything, pop the top.
Oh, get fucked, Marshy Hacker.
Come out. And you just rinse and repeat for all the seeds pretty much. It's okay if you get some seeds in there, like I said, it'll just add a little extra spice. I don't mind it. Boom. Our chilies ready to go in. We're gonna go with all those dried chilies. And some beef stock. Now we're gonna cover that up and blitz until smooth. That looks pretty even enough for me. Alright. Dang, look how rich that is, dude. Can you see in there those big Man, we can do so much
Good
delicious
job,
stuff
Yora.
with this, but this is going right into the chili, which we are going to make now.
I wish Soulcalibur was a little more popular during the day.
Some olive oil. Now we're gonna go with
Seems
the
like
red
everybody
onion,
wants to get on at night.
poblano pepper, little pinch of kosher. and now
Not
the
Yora,
salt
he's
is
been on
down.
all day.
Oh, yeah. I like this simple, just onions and pepper.
Matter of fact, me and Yora have been playing for like hours today.
And almost southwest, I should say.
Just trying to steal some
Now we're
fucking
gonna go
2B
with some
knowledge
garlic,
from him.
chopped up, and all
His
of
2B is
Brian's
so nice,
spices,
though.
which most notably
You're doing moves
includes
I don't
cacao
even
powder, again,
know with
very
2B. I'm like, what the
low
fuck is that?
So we're gonna stir that in, toast those spices in the oil and the vegetable aromatics. Look at that, already so transformational. This doesn't take long, just keep moving, maybe 2 minutes. That cacao
Alright, fuck
powder
that up.
is unsweetened beefy ribs, so it's kind of this nice savory flavor that goes well with chilies. We're just gonna deglaze a little beef stock that I reserved. Scrape those toasted spices off the bottom. Look at that already. Now it's in the diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, and all that delicious rich chili feel. And lastly, all the ground beef in its juice. Now we mix.
I'll take that, thank you.
Already, man, I know I keep saying that, but I love this. Beautiful chili, glossy, dark, looking, chunks of ground beef in there. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna pop that lid on and put this in an oven for an hour and a half at 275.
What is that grab range? Get out of here.
I like this again, keeps your skills and your range free. Set it, you get it, head vibe. So we have to finish that chili a little later, but in the meantime, just do that. Cowboy Kent Rollins is YouTube's favorite cowboy. Is that a fact? No. I haven't really gone down the cowboy rabbit hole yet, but as of now, as of the recording of this video, he's my favorite.
Ah, fuck, come on.
I don't know, Woody's pretty good. There's other cool cowboys out there. He's a great guy. Now, Kent is all about cast iron, live fire cooking, and enjoying life out of the open range. The dude has killer style. He's always rocking a cowboy hat. He really does look the part. Great accent. Seems like a chill hand. Shout out, Kent. This dude is the physical embodiment of a cold beer, an eagle claw, and freedom.
Oh, what is that?
My type of guy. Now, Kent's tap game is
Why did I
so
duck for that? She doesn't have like a low option when she jumps.
We'll see about that. Cowboy Kent's chili starts in a cast iron pot. We're gonna go with our ground beef, 2 pounds. Little kosher salt. Take that down off a tiny bit. Give Ryan a clip.
Oh my god, fucked it up. Got the cool move, fucked up the easy move.
And we'll start mashing away. A little more salt, a lot of beef in there.
This is the work of fate. I merely play my part.
Alright, our beef is nice and dark. He doesn't really go ahead and brown it too much, and the liquid will actually help us with the next step. Now we're just gonna add in our onions. Little pinch of salt, and sweat these down with the beef. Stir this around. Interesting way of doing things, but in theory, the fat and some of the moisture from the beef should help sweat these onions nicely. I like how simple this recipe is. You'll see in a second. Bare bones. Outdoor cooking. We're gonna go with our diced rotel, green chili, and tomatoes. These are rotel. This is the can. Just 1 can's worth of water. Classic stuff. A can of tomato sauce. This is tomatoes and other stuff and seasonings in it too. Garlic.
Man, I got scared of that coda switch, not gonna lie.
And spices.
Played in 3B when he fucking went for the
Then we're
grab
gonna go with
instead.
some kidney beans. Great. And this stuff here. So Cowboy Kent has his own line of products, and one of those products is this chipotle chili pepper sort of mash relish. I actually ordered some about a week ago, but as is life, sometimes things don't go your way, and it didn't come in time. But he said for years before he made his own relish, he used these good old chipotle peppers in adobo, which I personally love. Smoky, spicy, flavorful. They're gonna darken the chili.
I love me some
We're gonna
adobo
add
in a
that
can, my
But
boy.
when I finally do get his relish,
Not the
I'm
how Mar.
gonna give that
Oh,
away
it's
on
gonna
the
be
Discord
painful.
Patreon.
This boy hits so hard
come
for
on
no
over if you're
reason.
not already. Just gonna add in the can of chipotles and adobo, and as this simmers, I'm gonna break these chili peppers up a bit. soften. So like I said, minimal steps for this recipe. Use that everything in your pot. This is what I like to call bad killing, right? It is the easiest way, and it's flavorful and delicious. So that remains to be seen. But in theory, all these ingredients, you know, I like it. Mash those chilies up a bit.
That's not what I wanted.
On the hob on low
I wanted a
for about
B4.
45 minutes. We're not done yet. We still got to finish some of these chickens.
I get a whole 238, 236
Check on Brian's John. Hey, Excellent. And now we can just add the remaining ingredients before we finish. In with our
My boy, negative as fuck, decides, you know what, now's the time to attack.
a little bit of the bean cooking liquid.
What the fuck? How the fuck did that hit me?
Love that acidic punch. Good idea. A dash of McDermott sauce and a few dashes of hot sauce. Good old Tabasco. Now we mix that around. Not too harshly. We don't want to break our cheese. So nice and gently. Now we're gonna pop this thing in the oven at 325 Fahrenheit with the lid off. It's gonna reduce a little bit, keep it cooked. 45 more minutes. Alright. Look at that. All of that fat on the top of everything. Yacht down. That's what fuel should look like, people. It's wonderful. Wonderful, I say. Brian's Chili Dunzo. We just gotta do one last thing to Maddie's. Oh. Interesting. Alright, let's give this thing a stir. All that bone in the meat, those ribs and short ribs with the ground meat. I mean, the texture's looking definitely a little more liquidy than the other two, but not in like a bad way, almost kind of like a Cincinnati curry vibe. We just gotta finish this off with our kidney beans. Very nice. Stir those.
Oh, man.
It's interesting that all of our chilies have beans in them.
What a ring out. Love it.
Texas style doesn't have beans. If you've seen my other chili video, we cover all the different styles of chilies and where they come from and sort of the history. So if you're a chili lover, I recommend that video. But yeah, boom, that's it. It's Maddie's chili.
No just frames? That shit really sent me all the way to the fucking ring out on the other side.
Maddie's chili. We're gonna go with some cheddar cheese. Yellow cheddar.
That was an incredibly lame soul charge.
Some green onion. Scallion. Very interesting. Some grated onions. White onion. And of course, a dollop.
Damn, I just learned about that move. Oh, now he wants to block below. Well, that is a cool finish.
Brian's chili. We're going in with some tortilla chips. I like it. I like it. Some white cheddar cheese. Not yellow.
I knew I should have just went for the mid and
Honey.
kept it safe.
And a good
I knew it.
dollop. Sour cream.
He blocked the
Brian's
first
chili.
one, that means he was waiting for it.
Has by far been the most convenient way that I've ever gotten around inside of a city is with an Uber, not with trains or buses, or totally inconvenient in comparison to hopping on the app and saying, okay, pick me up here, and it's $10.
Oh, come on now,
$10
Zod.
you go across town. That's the most convenient way for me to travel in the city.
I would say American cities, yes. I did live in Glasgow for about a year, and I would say that the trains, other countries have much more reliable public transportation versus the U.S. because, again, I don't think that we prioritize public transportation.
Well, don't they need it
you know.
because European automakers essentially regulated the European auto industry out of existence, and the United States didn't? But if that wasn't the case, and there was, we used to have really affordable automobiles. If you look in Europe, They do have affordable automobiles, but they're basically shit, right? They're like shit cars. They're not. They're all box shaped. You know, like where's all your European F-150s? You know what I mean? Where are they all?
Is that
They
resist
regulated
impact,
them all
not
out, right?
impact grabs?
So,
Just
like-
that one?
Do we think that? I mean, I have beef with the size of trucks today.
They're
and
cheaper to
also
make.
from a-
Like they're safe. Like you could make them out of plastic. You know why they make them so big?
What
add
is that kit?
It's because it actually doesn't
A
cost
little
them
shoulder
any more
bump.
to make them with the additional steel, and they're actually safer that way. Like if you're gonna hit a deer in a rural countryside in your F-150, you want it to be made out of steel, don't you?
Oh, of course, but I'm talking about like the size of trucks today. They're very oversized, and it has something to do with I cannot remember. I think some sort of Obama era regulation or something, where they're just made gigantic in a way that isn't necessarily like, helpful for people who actually do like outside manual labor and construction and farm work. So there's like a really weirdly large market for like very old trucks because they're more ergonomic, so to speak.
Well,
but
not
they're
as
also
well.
kind
It's
of
usually because they're not
killing
electronic.
machines.
Because they're not electronic. I mean, I would say that the,
Man, that shit
the
does some good
suburban
damage.
female in the SUV is far more deadly than the redneck in the F-150.
I'm inclined to, dude. I'm inclined to freaking agree. I don't think we don't need to have. Yeah, what I mean is,
Yeah,
I think
so
that yes,
I
they're
could-
making cars.
I'm just saying,
big
it
for
seems
no reason.
it seems like the suburban soccer mom is something more to worry about there.
I'm
So.
taking that one personally.
Oh boy, the same
I
shit.
mean, as long as you don't drive a giant SUV for no reason.
Can't stand to see
I
it.
think it's. I mean, I come from a family of like 5 kids, and we had a relatively small-ish car, and we functioned just fine. I don't know why the ladies would be driving around the Escalades for the like 2 kids.
Well, because the whole point, you know why American automobiles, like the station wagon, things like that, why they were made so big, why SUVs are
That
so
was kind of
popular.
clean, I'm not
They're
gonna lie.
family-oriented vehicles. So you probably haven't
Makes me wanna
experienced
play a little
this, 'cause
Hawamaru,
I-
boy.
don't have children,
That was
you're
super
married,
clean.
right?
And here
Okay,
comes
so
Zod with 1B,
the thing
1B,
is
1B,
that
1B.
If you're married and you have kids, you're gonna go on a family outing, right? What happens if you have 3 kids? You're gonna fit them in a
They're
tiny
really-
little car?
God, Zod is so lame, bro.
I'm a family of 5, and
Yeah.
I'm the I have a lot of older brothers.
So you're gonna go to a
that-
beach, you're gonna bring the sunscreen, you're gonna bring the towels, you're gonna bring the folding chairs, right? You're gonna bring all the shit that women need, which is a ridiculous amount of stupid garbage, and all this little toys the kids want, and you're gonna pack them in the car seats, and you're gonna, you know what I mean? You're not gonna do that shit in a tiny car. The whole thing is like,
Right.
these are all tailored towards families. That's the whole point, right?
If I can add in a thought there, somebody actually had mentioned to me too the idea of car seats, because if you can't put 2 car seats next to each other, at least not very easily. So then we get the suburban with that extended back.
Oh, thank you. I do not want to fight Zod.
Because you're
Just the
especially
thought of
if you
it
have a toddler
makes
car
me
seat
cringe.
and then another toddler or a booster seat, so on and so forth. They don't work well. I can tell you that from experience. At least not side by side.
Right, but like, I feel like a lot of the time, again, I come from a very large family that was very outdoorsy, so we did often have things. I mean, we camped all the time. We were very outdoorsy, so we would have our bikes, we would have our tents, we would have our freaking paddle boards and shit.
Were you strapping them on top of a Prius? Were you strapping? No, of
No,
course
my dad
not.
actually has an F-150.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. That's my whole point.
But how often? But like that's no. I mean that makes sense, right? But then you'll always see, oftentimes, and also my dad's gigantic. My dad's 6'5". So seeing my giant dad with his 5 children step out of a big F-150 with his paddleboard and all of his camping gear, it's like, okay, right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then you'll see like a dude by himself in a giant car, or a lady by herself in a giant SUV, and it's like, well, why do you actually have this? So I think that perhaps people have been a bit too liberal in their purchasing of overly large vehicles when they don't actually need it.
I mean, do you
the
just base things on need though, instead of on desire and on want? Like, so when I look at capitalism, the reason and I've always been a big advocate for capitalism, the desires of people is what drives innovation. And one big desire that does that is the desire not to die. That's a big one that human beings have. So when I look at medical technology and I look at the driving innovation behind some of what modern cures would be something akin to miraculous. My wife, for instance, she suffered from migraines. They actually made a miracle drug that cured those migraines, right? This is the great advance of medical science. But that shit costs a lot of fucking money. You know what I mean? It costs a lot of money. And I don't see any of these non-capitalist stage nations as a driving force towards that sort of technological innovation because they don't have the ability to loan money. And that's the big one. The big one is the ability in capitalism to have access to capital.
I would say that, so I think, not on a, professional level, but my father's a doctor, and my grandfather was a doctor, so I can't comment on
What
this.
kind of doctor?
My father was a internal medicine doctor, so he's
Like Dr. House? Yeah.
Yeah,
And interns,
like he's
yeah.
the guy you go see.
They're
And
called
my grandfather was-
diagnosticians. They used to be called diagnosticians.
Yeah, my grandfather's an anesthesiologist. My father has, and mind you, my dad is fairly conservative. He's a rather conservative man. He has, he takes significant issue with our kind of, profit-based medical industry. Because he thinks that we have a system that encourages people to remain sick and to essentially, rather than, we don't focus on
Nailed it.
preventative care. We focus on making money off of sick people versus making sure they don't get sick in the
All
first
right.
place. And he has just kind of,
Well, he's
spent the
right.
last 30 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's because
Oh, good.
Do you know why that is? It's because
Health insurance.
nope, it's not. It's because doctors themselves fucked everybody. So you may not know this, but the only type of medicine that we practice here is allopathic medicine. Nothing homeopathic, none of that is all allopathic. The reason for that is because all alternative forms of medicine were destroyed by doctors themselves who unionized under one flagship with one
Yeah, I keep seeing the
and they said anything that was not allopathic
Instagram post about
medicine
fucking Cyberpunk Season 2. I cannot wait for that
completely
shit.
and totally destroyed them. And I'm trying to think of what the newspaper was that did it off the top of my head. I don't remember, but that's what they did. They unionized everyone, and anybody who went against the idea of allopathic medicine was completely destroyed. They were they just destroyed them. So doctors themselves did this to us, not the average person.
Would you consider like a prescription of,
Back on
Oh,
the
yeah,
How
the-
Mar,
yeah,
let's
eat
go.
better,
American Medical
exercise.
Association. That's
Would
right,
you
the American
consider
Medical
that-
Association. I think that's
Would you
correct.
consider like exercise and a better diet to be homeopathic?
I don't know that I would call that homeopathic, but there's more types of medicine than just allopathic. And so the thing is
Evil how
diet and
Maru.
exercise obviously are good preventative care, but now even doctors are moving towards the ideas.
You
of
can tell
preventative
because of
care,
his
but
red
they're trained by
eyes.
pharmaceutical companies to prescribe. Pharmaceutical companies are what train these doctors, and who do they have contracts with? The government. So it's pharmaceutical companies in unison with the government who come up with these types of training programs for doctors. There's not universities anymore, which aren't in the hands of pharmaceutical companies training MDs.
Crazy
All of their
work.
training programs are written by pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, I mean.
But do you know that it's progressives who push that? Progressives are the ones who push that and say, well, who else is going to train them? Of course, pharmaceutical companies. They're the ones who know their medicine better than anybody. Need to train doctors in the prescription of these things.
Should just 3-8
Progressives
again.
are
What
the
am I
ones
thinking?
Who push this?
Well, I would differentiate between progressives and, again, politicians, and I believe both sides of the coin who, generally more turbo Dems and Republicans who prioritize, again, profit over people.
Yeah, but when you say
problematic.
that, it's like when if you have a business, do you want your business to be profitable?
Of course, yes.
Okay. When you say over people, though, does that mean if I give you bad service, am I prioritizing profit over you?
No, but what I mean is, I think that to have a well-oiled, kind of functioning society, there are things that we need to not make
What?
profitable. And I think that things like, you know, medicine and housing, I think we need to have, like some other European countries, what they do is they will have like both a sort of like socialized aspect and then a privatized aspect, where at a base level you are provided certain things so that you can continue to function and be alive.
Yeah, but those things,
versus,
don't you think that those things only work because you have homogenous nations, which they can tax very heavily? They don't have these same income drags on immigrants that places like us have, where it's intrinsic advantage that we take more and more it's gone. Like the places that you would point to where you have the types of
Well, I didn't think that
socialized
through very
talking
much.
about are places where there's a
I haven't
very,
self-wrung
very
out in a long
low
time.
entry level of
And that shit went flying, boy. I should watch it
in the
again.
UK
I didn't mean to
have,
skip it.
like a very, very well, yes. I mean, it is extremely hard to immigrate to the UK, of course. But again,
can't say yeet.
I have strong feelings about that in the sense that I feel
What part of
like,
yeet is a bad word?
in the US.
But the UK, I mean, the UK model's not the model you're pointing to, though, right? You're pointing to like the model of Nordic
I
nations
would
more
say
than
like
likely.
maybe like the Netherlands or
Yeah.
the
Can you
Nordic
tell me?
nations.
Can you tell me what the demographic of the Netherlands is?
Primarily Caucasian.
Like
yes, so
primarily
that
or
is-
overwhelming?
Well, I could check
Yeah,
for
look.
you. Let's look at. It is about 74%.
74% of what?
Dutch or Frisians. Just let's do. About 80%.
That corny ass ring out, dude.
And then 20% is ethnic minorities.
Now do France.
That shit should not be ringing out.
And France is doing pretty okay.
Sure are. What's the ethnic makeup there?
About 75% is of,
Bro, really went for it again.
Europeans.
And again.
No.
Almost
no,
got it that
last
time.
I
Surprised it
checked in
didn't.
France, I think it's closer to 90%. It's 90% who you would put in the category of Caucasian. And so the thing is like, when this is one thing about progressives that drives me crazy is that thing that doesn't correlate with worldview gets rejected, and then you move for some type of like explanation for the thing outside of the obvious one. If you're going to move in massive amounts of migrants who are extremely poor, they're going to drag your health.
Should went for the impact. I'll
There's
cover
no way
both
around
options
that,
until he goes in a stance instead.
Well, the drag on the healthcare system.
Damn, looks like Ronnie Coleman's on the way out. That's too
I
bad.
have done research on this, and I could locate it again. But we spend a lot of money subsidizing healthcare insurance companies,
Damn.
which is to our detriment. And I do think that a kind of single-payer universal system would be a lot more
Man.
efficient.
Why have the
And,
price of drinks gone up so much? I
you know,
remember
kind of
drinks
the
used to be $1. Now they're like fucking
because I think
$3.50,
that
bro.
once we
I don't even get
eliminate
drinks when I
sort
go
of,
out. Like fast food now.
the,
Like ever.
unnecessary middlemen, it would
I'll
be
just drink water.
Sorry, in France, correct. 84, or I'm sorry, 85.
2 liter of soda costs
Close.
$2.50. What the fuck? It used to be
So
$1.
The thing is
Am I getting?
how
I
can
feel
it
like I
be
feel so old, bro.
if you want to have a socialized medicine like you do, right? Why would you want to bring in tons and tons of poor people
No
who
way.
need aid
What a ring out! What?
and welfare?
I wanna see
how
that
is
again.
Going to drag down your healthcare system?
Damn.
as
That was
far as
2A
I'm
into
aware, I haven't
what is
looked
that?
into the,
621B.
kind of,
That was cool as fuck.
the cost on the American taxpayer is on like immigrants.
Yo, fuck this
undocumented
dumbass shit.
citizens.
For some reason, my Steam just loves to minimize my game when somebody gets on a game that's not even the same game I'm playing. Like, what the fuck is that?
And need health care. How exactly are they not going to be a drain on your healthcare system? Like, how could that ever? Well, like, what could you even offset that with? What is the thing you could even point to and be like, but that's offset with what?
Don't even like seek out healthcare is the thing.
Immigrants?
It's my understanding that we, for the most part, because we are not reproducing at a rate that kind of adequately replaces our population, and because again of corporate and government greed, we have been dependent upon what is essentially, I would say, a slave class. of undocumented laborers who are paid next to nothing. But again,
So that would be bad, right? Don't you want them to not be here?
well, I would prefer that they be naturalized, and I would prefer that, you know, people,
Why not just send
you
them
know,
back home? And then we have immigration policies based on the idea that we bring people in who aren't a net drag to our economy and a net drag to our healthcare system. Why? Like,
Are
that's
they
the thing.
a net drag on
That's
our economy? Because I guess
Yes.
my issue here is that, again, like, immigration makes up such a huge portion of our labor force. Like,
Yeah,
if you
well,
think about
we're not just
specifically,
talking about
like,
GDP.
agriculture and trade.
Yeah, we're not just talking about GDP, right?
Uh-huh.
You can have this massive gross domestic product, but what's our debt? You know, what's our debt and our deficit spending and the things like this? It's like, it's not just about your gross domestic product, which, by the way, China's not dependent on immigrant labor, and they have the second largest GDP in the world.
Yeah, but China's
And
dependent on
there's sort of like
literal
this
slave
idea
labor.
here
That's a bad
that
comparison.
for some reason we need to bring in a massive amount of really, really poor people from other nations, and that's not going to have an effect on the American taxpayer that drags us down. I've never actually understood that. I've never understood why progressives push for that.
As far as that grab connected.
So I have looked this up, and I think that I would need to read through this fully. And it's okay if you don't want to doubt my source, but it does seem like overall immigration does boost economic growth. However, again, you're right. That could just be boosting, I suppose,
Gross
GDP
domestic
as
product,
opposed
yeah.
to- yeah, as
So it
opposed
pushes
to,
out gross domestic product. I wouldn't even dispute that, but who cares? Right? It's like, if it is the case that you're born, $290,000 in debt. I'm just using an extreme example, right? But if you're just born into that kind of debt, who gives a shit what your gross domestic product is? Like, wouldn't you want people to be coming into your nation who are contributing to the nation more than they're taking away from the nation? Isn't that the whole goal? And if you're bringing in very poor people from very poor nations, how in the hell is that going to make, like, tell me this. Let me just ask this. This is my mindset, right? And maybe you can say it's too pragmatic or something like this, but how is bringing in, like, 50,000 poor South Americans going to help my life? How's that going to improve my life?
Well, again, because Americans are not reproducing enough to kind of fill
I've
our
reproduced
labor
enough.
force. All right, well, that's you, but I mean,
What a late
because of
fucking
the
low
cost
grab.
Of childcare, I would say, and because of inflation, most parents need to, have like a double income household to have children. Again, a lot of people just aren't having kids at the same rates that we used to.
But
which
can't
is an
we,
issue.
so shouldn't we focus on that problem instead of focusing on trying to replace the population with some other people group? Doesn't that seem silly?
I mean, I think that realistically, what do we do in the
Nice
meantime?
ring
We
out.
have
Let's
this
go.
Deficit in, like native-born labor.
Well, here's what I tell you what I would do, right? But what I would do is I would have a mass.
Oh wow,
government
spin the
base,
win. Who would have thought? Another
overarching
one? Whoa!
campaign, and I would have
How
billboards
unexpected.
everywhere. I would bring back the idea of the nobility and respect of the family, and the idea that the highest calling and duties and virtues of women are to have children. The highest calling and virtues of men are to be fathers. And I would bring the idea that universalized respect comes with having a family. Those are things which are to be cherished, and those are the things
That was a
everybody
bad
agrees.
idea. Jumping
And I
in
think
the air.
you'd see the birth rates greatly increase. Hungary had a program that was very similar to this. Not only did they kind of nationalize the propaganda for birth rates, but they also gave massive tax incentives. If you had 3 or more children, you were tax
Go
exempt
again,
for life.
minimizing my game
And
to
the
tell me
recovery is
Aqua got
already
on
beginning,
Naraka
and it's
blade.
showing
What the
some
fuck?
great fruit. But
I
I
don't
think
care.
You can do things like
I don't
that,
even want
and
notifications of
I
my
don't-
friends
I don't
getting
even
on
see a
different
problem
games.
with it. But what you can't do is you can't give people the mixed message of, like, I was arguing with a girl this morning on Piers Morgan, for instance, who was trying to say, well, what about lesbians? What about gay people? What about this other outlier group? Who cares, right? The idea is to propagate birth rates and propagate your citizenry. Why do we care about, propagating these, like, fucking fringe cases of, some gay dude wants to adopt a kid or some lesbian chick wants to adopt a kid? Why are we pushing huge millions and millions of dollars of resources towards that instead of the domestic reproduction of our nation? Doesn't that seem silly?
I think most adoptees are heterosexual couples.
Overwhelmingly,
However,
yes.
overwhelmingly, yes.
Yes.
However, I think that as much as you could push sort of, you know, like, from an ideological standpoint, yes, you could push like.
There, turn off all notifications on
families,
Steam
the
except for
highest
direct
calling
messages.
Of someone is to be a father or a
Hopefully
mother.
that helps.
I think that the issue with that is that a lot of people just can't really afford it. Because I think it's,
I think they could afford it if they got tax exemption for the rest of their life if they have 3 kids plus. Then I think they could afford it.
And
Right?
if like there was rent control, if there was
Well, what do you need?
socialized
Like, why do you even
programs.
need? Why do you even need rent control? Oh, like for one thing, when you dive into the idea of markets, the idea is that there's not enough housing to go around, and that's why rent's so high, right? That's the idea. Kamala Harris wanted to build more houses to bring the rent prices down. That was the goal.
I think it depends upon the area, but from what my point of view from living in, I've lived in very rural small towns, and I've lived in cities, and largely the issue in cities is that there is it's just really expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
because
housing,
there's not.
but it costs a fucking lot.
Yeah, there's not. Well, it's because of supply and demand, right? The idea is that the demand is higher than the supply, and so if the demand is higher than the supply, you can basically charge whatever the fuck you want for it.
I'm sorry.
So the idea
He's low grab
is
me out of my low grab?
more housing, right?
Oh my God.
So imagine it this way: if you move to a neighborhood where 20 of the
Hey, what's up, Soga?
Or
Came back from
18
what?
of the houses out of 20 were vacant, right? Nobody wanted to live there. Do you think that the rent there would be higher or lower than in other areas of that city?
No fucking way.
Well, no, they would be lower, right?
Yeah.
They'd be, but I mean, so isn't the idea if you want to bring in massive amounts of migrants and you don't have the kind of housing which is necessary?
Oh, nice. Where'd you go?
That's going to increase the rents of people who are around you?
Get that shit out of here.
Entailment of that?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but are we not having an issue right now in which?
Yeah, I think you should spend time with your family as much as you can. I try to go out and see my parents at least once a week.
Is that Black Rock?
I think it's Blackwater actually, but maybe
Blackwater
I'm
is-
wrong too.
Which one is buying up all like the property? Because there is an issue where corporations are
Oh my, just
buying
run up,
excessive
normal grab.
amounts of property, which I think is like
What, you smoking hookah with your parents?
disconcerting. I think it's less,
Yeah, but they're buying up rural property, right?
Oh my God.
and
B.
in
6B.
cities as well.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I
bro,
mean,
come
there
on.
are industries which will buy up property. McDonald's, their entire idea is they make all their money on real estate, not on their cheeseburgers. That's
I
their
hate this game.
business model.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Bro, I
they
get
make
it.
all their- they make all their
You
money
want to
really
spam
well.
normals, you want to trade.
That's why the food is
I get it.
trash and garbage. They don't care. The whole point is to make money off of the rents for the various McDonald's locations. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just pointing out if we're gonna dive into the ideas of the problems here, I would like to just start with this idea of like.
Why does that give you a whole true combo?
How is diversity?
Why would you
really
get
this
both
great
those? Just 'cause
strength
I
or this,
fucking what?
Homogeneity
As a
is not?
counter hit?
Why is the idea?
Oh, I'm so mad,
that
bro.
people aren't speaking the same language, and they don't have the same customs, and they don't have the same culture. How does that really make you better, or stronger, or greater? I actually don't understand why there's even a contention over this. To be honest with you.
Sure. I could give you. I mean, this is anecdotal. But again, someone that has lived in. I lived in Scotland, UK, Glasgow. I felt that. Oh shit! So I just got a loud notification. When I lived in Glasgow. I felt that it was a weakness of the British individuals that I met to.
I can't remember how to ring out off of.
Not
A
only were
plus
they
B.
kind of like
Lethal hit.
uncomfortable with and prejudiced towards individuals who had different skin colors, but also towards like, I mean, frankly, Europe is very strange. They view people who look exactly like them but live like 10 minutes down the road as like nearly aliens.
Totally.
I've been
do the
playing
same
for
thing.
an hour
You'll see
40
it- you'll
minutes.
see
Looks
it
like.
with, like in
I haven't
Michigan,
really
the
been
Dutch
playing
and
all
the
fucking
Irish.
day.
They hate each other's guts. You'll see it in the South. There's various Southerners who hate other
I'll probably be on
Southerners,
for a
you know
little
what I
while
mean?
longer at least.
Texas basically hates everybody who's not Texan. Right? This
Everybody
has
wants to
been-
get
this
on
is-
when it's super late.
Because the idea is the
Ain't
way
nobody who
people
plays
groups
Soulcalibur got a
operate,
job,
they operate
unfortunately.
within the division of culture. So I don't care about racialism. That's
So
not
everybody gets
important
on
to me.
once
I
10
don't give a
o'clock.
shit
Okay.
about
Oh,
it.
time to get on.
Yeah.
But culture, I do care about. So I think that culture is downwind of theology. So I think we start with theological principles, and then that creates some sort of philosophy which informs culture. These cultural dynamics, whether it's democracy, monarchy, things like that, come from whatever the kind of theological base was. And then from there, your politics is downwind from that, from culture. The question becomes is like, if you were to take somebody who had the identical makeup of me, but he was black,
Surprised to get a lethal hit.
right? So if they were identically culturally similar, you know what I mean, or just identical culturally, what do I care? There's no distinction there. Right? It's never been of particular note to me. But what is of particular note to me is that not all cultures are equal. And even postmodernists, and this was the contention.
A plus B seemed like a wild choice right there.
Like, there's definitely cultures which are not equal to the one that you live in. And as a defense mechanism as human beings, we recognize patterns of behavior, especially cultural patterns of behavior. The reason racialism
Hey,
exists is
nice.
because they associate the race with a pattern of behavior, and so therefore
That's not super
they
easy
see
to
as
do.
a protective mode to move
Oh, he could've
away
done it
from
again.
that people group because they don't want to engage with that pattern of behavior. So if it is the case that there's a culture, you know, of like, I don't know, cannibals, right? But they all happen to be one color, right? Of course that's going to lead to racial prejudice because it's an identification for cultural behavior. You know what I mean? Now, I'll grant that in modernity, there's tons of people who can culturally integrate with various nations who are different colors, and that's fine because they can culturally integrate. We've seen this, actually, and it's worked fairly well to some degrees. But when you bring in cultures which cannot admix well, that seems like it's like
Yeah, first time I've seen him do that.
right? Like it just seems so counterintuitive and stupid, and it brings so much contention. I don't even understand what the point is.
I mean, again, I feel that. Again, I
No,
feel that
oh, he didn't get the
this is
combo,
my
but he got the kill. We take that.
anecdotal as
He did the one, the variation that I like
I
to do.
feel
Nice.
that,
Well, he tried to. Almost got it.
I feel, I
He's got a
suppose,
pretty early coda. I think he's gonna win this.
cultures and living together, which I do think encourages people who immigrate here to, in turn, be open to mine. And what I feel like
Nice.
what we end up with is sort of a net positive.
I love that move.
Bring the good in
Tira's
cultures together.
gloomy soul charge or coda, and then you just hold A.
You obviously like
Does like 3 hits. Got a guard crush. It's plus like 4 on block. Uh-oh.
I'm sure you're aware that like
Ooh, sidestep
immigrants
3
were not
BB. Too
seen as,
good.
like, the exact same as sort of the Anglo-Saxon individuals. For instance, like Germans that we would think of as you know, super duper duper white, at one point were very much like this barbaric race of people immigrating to the U.S.
Ah, get out of here. You don't even like
Actually,
Soulcalibur.
Are you aware of the Donner Party?
Yeah.
It
Ate
was,
each other in Donner Pass in the Sierra Nevadas.
You need you some Tekken.
Yes, I actually grew up around that area,
Me
right
too.
there. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Hmm.
One of the immigrants in the
I had today off work.
was,
I just took it off so I could have like a
served-
4-day
served
weekend.
the blame nearly totally because of his.
And I've literally just been playing this shit all day.
Because at the time there was a lot of.
Should have been streaming all day, but
Jesus Christ, what was I going
I'm a
with
little
this?
bit of a
Well, I think you were trying.
I don't
to
know what
get
you call it.
into the
Pussy-ass
ideas
bitch,
of
maybe.
cultural integration. But the thing is like.
Well, would you say that one of the strengths of America is that we are kind of a melting pot and we aren't? So, like for instance, like I think that one of the best things that our country was founded on was the idea that you could practice essentially any faith without, being persecuted for it.
Unless it was Catholicism or Islam.
No wall.
Or any number of different non-Protestant sects, you could definitely be persecuted for it, especially at our foundation. All 13 colonies had their own religion, and all of them were ratified as state religions.
Poke, poke.
Even post-founding. So even post-founding, each state had their own religion. That was a state religion. All of them. Well, I'm sorry. I think all except two had a state religion. So, like, no, not really. Like the idea for that, the idea for our founders anyway, was if you weren't a Christian, they really weren't wanting to bring you into the nation at all. And if you were a Catholic, they really didn't want you here either. So so the thing is like you really weren't able to do all of the kind of open, like if our founders knew that a bunch of postmodernist women were running around practicing witchcraft, what do you think they would have done about that?
I mean, I think it depends upon which one and which period in time, but I think it was
our founding fathers in 1780. They go on
sidestepping
TikTok,
here.
Hundreds of thousands of American women practicing witchcraft. What do you think they would do? You think they'd be like, well, that's freedom, boy?
I think that depends. Maybe, potentially.
You think so?
I think that the witch trials were largely over at that point. Not to say that there wasn't prejudice, absolutely. But, I mean, I think comparatively, there was certainly, significantly more religious freedom in comparison to Europe. Right?
No, I'm not sure that that's the case. So this would be regional, maybe in some places in Europe, but really this country was founded
Hey, don't
by
stand so with your
Protestant,
rounds
English,
over.
and French people. And they really didn't want anybody around who wasn't Protestant, English, or French. That was it. You talk about Germans, for instance.
Fucking 3A.
The reason there was so much anti-German sentiment is because they spoke German. And the reason there was so much anti-Dutch sentiment is because they spoke Dutch. They couldn't understand each other, and it
I
created
can't
this
believe they hit
cultural barrier. These cultural barriers cause problems, right? Cause problems. Now, when you have strict integration, if you were to have strict integration where everybody who came in spoke the exact same language and they followed similar cultural customs, I don't think you'd have the same kinds of problems.
Oh, it sucks
But that
losing a
is
basic
not
bitch shit
indeed
like that.
What's going on is you kind of progressives make these ridiculous bold claims like, hey, if we have these various cultures intermixing, or
Oh my God, what a
let's
trade.
create some brand new awesome culture. Where has it ever done that? Here? Where's the brand new awesome culture that
God,
came
that
out
was
of,
so lame. What is that horizontal
these
move I
culture
got? I
clashes?
wanted
Where the fuck is
6A.
that?
What is that?
It doesn't seem like we have
I've
an
never
awesome
even.
culture
That must be
anywhere
4A. What is
anymore.
that?
I mean, I am particularly fond of. I don't know if you're a fan of California, but I'm a fan of California.
What parts?
I have lived in mostly Northern California. That's where I was raised.
In the
Sierra
yuppie areas?
No.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of Northern California. Well, wait a second.
Areas.
Those are Northern California. I mean, that's a rich area, right? There's lots of yuppie areas. So what area are we talking about?
Are you familiar with the region east of Sacramento?
What's it called?
I will put it in the private chat.
Oh
because I
yeah,
do not want to
don't
dox
put it
my-
in the private chat. It'll show up on my screen. Don't put it in the private chat.
But what I'm saying is I grew up in a very rural, poor area.
man, I don't
It's
wanna
not
do-
a yuppie area.
Okay, a very poor homogenous area, because most of them are pretty
No,
homogenous.
it was a mixture of like mostly white and Mexican. Frankly, that's largely been. And while there was absolutely like racism and clashes, for the most part,
What the
especially between
hell?
young people, it was
What the hell,
fairly
Yante?
peaceful.
What the hell is this?
And I do feel like, frankly,
Fucking cat
I mean,
food?
this is not really necessarily moral, but I would say that, my God, food-wise, music-wise, dance-wise, culturally,
Yeah.
I think that it has been, California itself has been enriched by a significant immigrant population. It is also better for your brain to speak more languages.
It's dangerous. I mean, California's dangerous as hell. I mean, there's some of the cities there are like war
man.
zones. You know what I mean? Same thing with Chicago. Same thing with, I mean, there's lots of places. But anywhere that you see these massive influxes and these cultural clashes, what just happened in California? Massive riots in the streets and people waving Mexican flags saying "Viva la Mexico" on American streets. Like, how is that not? How's that peaceful when they're like dropping shit on cop cars, right? When they're fucking burning shit. Like, we covered those riots every single day that they were going on. We covered them in depth. I had 15 cameras up at a time. And we were, well, I mean, that's
Nice.
hyperbole, right? I had a lot of cameras up at a time covering every little aspect. Because I know a clipper later will be like,
That's a move I need to use more.
Wolf camera, right?
I think it's
But
66AK.
we were watching it, right? We were watching the great dumpster no fights in California as these guys would get behind dumpsters, throw bottles, Molotov cocktails, and screech about racial injustices and things like that for a nation they don't even have to be in. And it's like,
Well,
how is that enriching?
Two things here. I don't know if you've ever been to Boston, but my dad's from that region. It's very white. That place is crazy. And I would say the amount of, like, you know, niceness and politeness over there is significantly lower than my experience with California. But also, again, California was originally a property of Mexico. And it is kind of a thing with, like, Chicano, which is Mexican-American culture, to be very, like, woo, Mexico, in a way that I don't think is
A
harmful.
headache on
So,
stand switch? How
for
unfortunate.
instance, my grandfather grew up in a town in the Midwest that spoke German and English and was very proudly
In
German,
Boston,
German-American.
Massachusetts, the white population is approximately 44%.
Lame ass drop.
Okay, well, I'm sure that's lower than California, which is primarily Hispanic.
Yeah, so, but you said that it's mostly a white population.
Oh
I
my
think
god,
that's
bro.
white people would probably be the highest population there.
Well, they would be
versus,
the,
other non-white.
yeah, they would be the majority minority.
Yeah.
It's at 44%, right? But they're not, they wouldn't be the majority. They would just be out of all of the minorities.
Surprised it punished it.
Do you know anything about Portland?
In Dakota? Let's go.
Okay, so I lived in Portland for a few years, and
I
would
love me
say
some Coda Tira.
to-
Portland.
Yeah, it sucked. Portland is majority white. For a very long time in Oregon, they would only allow white people to move there. Portland is in the U.S. the city.
Why does he do that? Why doesn't he
with
finish the whole
highest white
combo?
population.
Surely he knows it.
Extremely
Oh, let's go.
diversity.
No stand switch.
Now,
Oh,
I
that
have
would have
lived
been
in
game.
San Francisco. I have lived in Sacramento. I have lived in Los Angeles. And I saw homeless people all the time. And there's been very few experiences in those cities where I felt unsafe.
And who runs those cities? Progressives.
Progressives. Portland?
No, what are you doing?
And
Also
so-
progressive city.
yeah,
yes.
they're-
But
how-
what I'm
like,
saying
how
is that
progressive, though?
Majority white. Portland is way more progressive.
Yo, that was lucky. That was so lucky.
Um,
Woo! What a nail
nightmare
biter.
zone. I mean, people like running around with machetes and shit. I have a lot of thoughts on how Portland operates, though. What they did was they decriminalized all drugs.
Because of progressives.
Right, but what they didn't do was they did not make rehab affordable or mandatory. So what they did was essentially have a bunch of people running around on drugs with essentially no cheap way to get sober. And
Oh, gee, legalizing
It was-
drugs. Who would have thought that would be a bad idea? Conservatives, right?
I mean, I think that if you decriminalize in a way that doesn't feed people into the prison system, but instead assist them in getting healthy,
Don't you think there's a
I think that
distinction in
that's-
drugs, though? Like, so what liberals will do is they'll say, or progressives, they'll be like, well, you know, you can decriminalize weed and that's better because then you're not throwing people in jail for an ounce of pot or this or that. But it's like, okay, I can even grant that because marijuana itself doesn't seem to drive people into things like theft and sucking dick behind dumpsters for more marijuana, right? But if you look at like heroin addicts and shit like that, they do that kind of shit.
Oh my god, bro.
There's a big
I just got
distinction
goosed by nothing.
in decriminalizing
Just
a
doing
soft
attacks.
drug,
That's good enough.
right? And
No combos needed, just
decriminalizing
keep doing
fucking
attacks.
heroin addicts and giving them clean needles and shit. Like, why would anybody ever think that was a good idea? It's a terrible idea. They did it in San Francisco, progressive. Portland, progressive. They did it in regions of Nevada run by progressives. Why the fuck do progressives want to give everybody fucking free needles to shoot up and shit? It's crazy.
I think that, so, we are, like,
Oh, stand Twitch?
copying, my goodness, I think it's the Swiss model, where what they do is they do give people clean needles. But also, what we don't do, again, is we do not offer proper avenues to help people get sober. And that is something that I feel very, very, very strongly about. Because I think that the best way to assist people is not feed them into the prison system. But again, also help them get clean. And you can do that again by
No impact? Where's my impact, bro?
Can't you just force them into a rehab clinic by force?
I mean, sure we could, but again, Portland didn't do that.
Yeah, I know, but they should have
And
done that,
frankly,
right?
yes.
But
yes,
isn't that
they should
imprisoning
have
people?
offered
But isn't that imprisoning people, really? Like, isn't the
I mean,
idea...
Get that shit out of here.
Program is different from like just prison, which doesn't really do.
What's the difference? Like, okay, maybe a difference in condition? Like, you can watch more TV or something like that, but the idea, if you're forced to go to a treatment center by force,
So,
you have to stay there,
prison,
right?
The way that the
Oh, come on now.
system works in the U.S. is that it doesn't really offer. It doesn't feel like kind of like reparative justice in the sense that.
Oh, I wanted to hit him so bad.
in the US relies
Yo,
on
David,
private
thanks, bro.
prison-
Thank you for the
private
sub, my
prison.
man. How you been?
We want more people in prison. Essentially, it's an industry and it is a problem. So instead of focusing on making sure people can become kind of upstanding members of society, what we do is we make it harder for them to integrate back into society. One of my great uncles, his life mission, he's a very Christian man, is to assist.
Yo, hell yeah, congrats, bro. It's fucking awesome.
Prison, to help them integrate back into society, but
We're just a couple of old men now.
so many barriers in the way. As far as like the help we give, prisoners after they are released.
Wow, whole ass daughter. That's awesome. Daughters are the best, bro. I got a boy and a girl,
Participate in society. So you have to
and
have, like,
I love my
some
son more than anything in the world, of course.
social net
But there's just something so special about a little
You can't
girl.
just let them continue to live in under such like horrific conditions.
Well, let me ask you a question. If this is the case... I've
Man,
thought
I
about
can't believe you
this
had a
a lot.
baby. That's
For
dope. What'd you name her?
Christmas,
What's her
okay.
name? My daughter's name is Layla.
Where's the compassion for those who have been released from prison?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say in Chicagoland...
Can't
over
believe
the
bro had a
weekend,
whole ass
and
baby.
I don't even know what the numbers are, but I can almost assure you... that
Amaya,
there's
that's
at least
nice.
5
We got
people
those
being shot
yas.
over the weekend in
Yugging.
Chicago. Okay, in Chicago.
Layla.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, close
So,
enough.
so 5 people, they murder 5
Amaya.
other people.
You know.
If we had, like, your perfect...
That's dope, though. How long ago? Is she just a couple months? Four months, hell yeah. That's a stressful time for sure. Oh damn, fucking UR left. I didn't even... Man, day after Valentine's, nice. That's not too far from my birthday. What's that, the 15th? I was born on the 10th of February. Not safe for work duel? What does that mean, bro? Yeah, 1000% worth it, man. Nothing's better than having a child, honestly. Made me grow up a lot. Damn, my boy on a 23 winning streak. Oh, just against this guy. Are you still all the way in, what are you, still in Hawaii? Hawaii? Oh yeah, I'm gonna fix that real quick. He don't need that. He don't need that 23. Oh, he went back to Michigan. I'm surprised to hear that. Same back in Jackson, or you went somewhere? Well, I guess I shouldn't dox you, but same place. You know. Ooh, damn, I'll get him washed. I still think about Michigan every once in a while. David and Luke's mom hits me up every once in a while, sends me some shit on Facebook. Dang, that was close. I like Florida a lot. But you know, Michigan will always be home. No way that was gonna reach me. Bro, Florida is also cooking the shit out of me. Gone downhill, that sucks. That's kind of Michigan in general. Not a lot of industry up there, you know. At least it ain't like Flint. You don't have fucking lead water or whatever. Oh, Central, fuck, bro. If it rains 2 days in a row, like the whole city of Jacksonville's got fucking potholes everywhere. Highway in front of your house, literally just fucking everywhere. I don't know what it is, bro, but the way they build our roads just can't take rain, and we get rain so much. Ooh, not the perfect. Ended his streak with a perfect. Oh, my poor guy. That's right, Skippy Bug. Just go ahead and skip. Nope, he did not want to skip. Was he waiting for him to kick me or something?
Let's do this.
Yo, what is this fucking furry? What is what is this character from? Oh my god, what have you done to Keelik? This is unacceptable. This man looks so zesty. Aw, damn it. Your zesty ass stands no chance. Do it again, you're right. You need to come play, Soga.
Feel my spirit surging.
Aw, I couldn't reach. But you know, thanks for lurking too. I probably got another 20 minutes in me. And I gotta take my ass to bed.
Let's do this.
Step 1, get mauled by dogs.
Dust is a total overhaul mod for Fallout New
Step
Vegas.
2,
It
do it
heavily
again.
ramps up the difficulty, makes almost everything hostile, and gives you a single objective: escape. Believe it or not, I haven't played this mod before, but since you all told me to play it, I had to oblige. I've beaten this game in some of the worst circumstances. Randomizers, permadeath, the whole nine. What makes this any different? I might even beat it without dying. But anyway, let's get into it. Yeah. Thanks. Peace. Well, here we are. Oh man. Mister. We have several. I think Duster Nut will be a ghoul. Oh my god.
Jesus. That's an ugly ass ghoul.
Ghoul. They say the Sierra Madre is about letting go. Dude, I think you need to let go. Alright. I'm gonna go with melee weapons, guns, and lockpick. Skilled and built to destroy.
Look at this dude.
Oh. Holy crap. I spawn with absolutely nothing. But, okay, I think that was like a spawn point or something. I definitely should have gone into the armory. Oh, Jesus. That's a whole skill book. Already? What sighted me? Uh-oh. Something knows
I'm
where I
behind
am.
you.
Ah! Well, this is dust. What am I supposed to do? Oh god. Ah! Holy sh... Yep.
Let's do this.
What the hell am I supposed to do? I'm literally surrounded by them. Ah! I'm going back into the shack.
This mod looks like it
Safe here.
sucks.
Fuck. Please, no. Fucker. Okay. I don't think that was a good place to spawn. I'm a killer clown. Ooh, I'm a scary guy. Look at me.
Went
Yeah,
right
there's
through
a
his
bunch of
ass.
Spawn points here. Let's see. A safe house. Oh my. Yeah, this appears to be a better start than the last one. Let's try and find the strip. I've noticed there aren't any enemy markers or whatever. Oh my god, no! Get away from me, Satan! No! Combat log. Fuck this. I'm done. I'm taking a squad and we're going north. Might that be a way out?
No impact?
Oh my god! Shit. Doesn't look like these people are big fans of me.
No impact?
Oh, there's more. Holy. Oh, fuck. Well, I guess that wasn't the best place for me. Why did... What was I thinking?
6 speed, too good.
Oh, God. Oh, they're healing up? Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh! The bootleg Bonnie and Clyde have become cannibals, I guess. Oh. There's people over there. I can't aim for shit. Fuck. Yeah, I'm fucked. Shit. Into the tool factory I go. they're in here too.
That had to be a missed input by him.
Maybe
No
I
way
could
he just
use the
try to
frag mines
impact me
to
with
get
this
their
little
asses.
fist. Wouldn't have even done anything.
Oh. Bam.
Yo, this guy Skippy's just like, this guy's been beating my ass for 23
Well-
games. I want to watch him get his ass beat now.
I'm not gonna survive this. I am pretty much fucked. The knife spear is pretty fucking good.
The knife spear, you say?
I'm getting these motherfuckers. He's like not taking any damage. Come on. Oh, I'm so close. Holy. Bear trap fist. Oh. It's already out of fucking damage or whatever. Oh, goddamn. Is there anything of note in here? Well, there was nothing of note in here. So, I don't want to be here. No. Go away. Fuck. Oh, God. Oh, there's so many of them. Jesus fucking Christ. Ah! What the hell have I walked into? Yeah, I shouldn't have gone there. Maybe I'll walk north. Fuck it. They wanted to go north. Ah, the northern passage. How would you escape the Mojave? It can't be as
Damn.
easy as just, you know, walking into the northern passage. There's gotta be a bunch of fucking rocks just blocking everything, right? Let's see. It's a one-hit kill. That's fucked. Yep. Can I hit him in the head? Yeah. Huh. Alright. Boom!
That seemed like a wild choice to walk up to me and try to do that.
Journal entry. This isn't a fever, the spores, the fucking spores. I can feel it in my lungs. We're basically dead man walking. Can't let anything through the gate. Buried the key deep in the earth. Can't let the spores out. Nobody gets into Zion. I thought so. Well, looks like I'm not going to Zion. I read that this is supposed to be played on normal difficulty. Oh my god, that's a death claw. Yep. Fuck's sake. Well, that's not where I want to be. I'm still picking up the NCR dog tags, just out of habit at this point. Alright, now that I have the hunting rifle, I think I can face off against these fuckers. Clean as a motherfucker. But they don't have anything, so I kind of just wasted ammo, honestly. Well, shit. Yep. I'm not gonna survive this. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Shit. Really gotta conserve my fucking ammo. Oh, God. Yeah. I ain't making it out of this. Time to accept my fate. Yep. Lesson learned. Don't go there. Oh, God. That's so many people. Nope. Oh. Shit. Mm-hmm. That's just how it goes on this bitch of an earth. Oh! Shit.
Those don't look like dogs.
Dickhead. Now that's what I call a fucking gamer shot.
Not the gamer shot.
This is not good. This is very
Now we're gaming,
terrible.
boys.
I'm really just wasting ammo out here, aren't I? Be gone, foul beast. I know what's gonna happen. I'm really just staving it off at this point. Oh, man. Shit. Yep. Might just fuck around and walk south along the mountain. Don't know where I'm supposed to go, but probably as far away from spawn as possible, right? That's the goal. Oh, god damn it. What is
Oh,
that?
so close.
Fucker. At least I think there's only one of them. Ooh. Slap that motherfucker. Oh no. I'm detected. It's a don't get close and you'll be fine kind of situation. I was just about to say I've gotten a pretty long way. Fuck! This ain't good.
Ugh.
Oh, fuck. Yep. Gotta try to really toe the line here. Fuck.
Can we extend it for the ring out? Maybe. Don't get my way wall. Yeah. Might could have done it without the critical edge, maybe.
Yeah. Fucker! Get away! No! Ah! Ah! You don't belong here. I'm aware. Oh god. I'm going into the South Vegas ruins. Even that's better than this shit. Hey there. How's it going? No, I do not want to scream. What? What? Oh god. Fucker. Okay, not a good pathway. I'm in Tunneler Town now. Hello, tunnelers. Hello. Okay, I'm leaving. Bye. Did you see? Ooh. Get my ass out of here. Son of a bitch. I hate these fuckers. Get out of here. Oh, everywhere. Yep. Maybe I'll go northwest. Oh, look. The fucking devil. Satan is here. I'm gonna go up north. Maybe I can get to Canada. Oh my god. You know
Oh
what,
my
man?
god, damn it.
I think I'm gonna create another character. Oh. Buster Nut ain't looking so good. I'm gonna up my agility, because I really need to run. I don't think perception is gonna matter much. I can't see any red compass markings anyway. Alright, this should be good.
Gotta go for it.
Man,
Ring out?
weapons, sneak.
Nah.
I'm gonna go with
Now we
sneak
gotta ring
and
out.
trigger discipline, because there's no fucking ammo in this. Alright. Yep, got the fucking apostrophe there on accident. It implies that nut is short for something, I think. Let's go into some shack. Alright. A femur. Oh, it's a weapon. Alright. This is Gene skydiving. Oh,
That's a lot of
they're
alliance
not
gifts.
hostile?
What do you need?
I need to get going. This is new. Oh my. That is fucking great. Alright, if my past experiences are anything to go by, Good Springs will not be a safe place. Who is that? Hello? Oh, they want my bone. Oh man, am I gonna win this fight? Oh! Nope, guess I gotta go in with the plasma pistol. Great. Oh fuck.
That don't count as a vertical?
Ah! God. Oh my god! Please don't charge at me. Holy shit! How many of these fucking dogs are there? I aim to kill you! That can't be coming from the dog, huh? I best be on my way. Huh? Who said that? Am I starting to lose my sanity or something? Alright, besides the dogs, oh no. These weapons don't last long at all, huh? Wow.
And bro, just only sidestep. Only wants to sidestep.
that
Only wants to
is how you
2-2-A.
do it.
It's so boring.
Oh, motherfucking yeah. It does nothing. Okay, I'm dropping this. Now this is what we in the business like to call epic. Alright, is Doc Mitchell's house? Of course, this is the one that's locked. Are you kidding me? No! Not more of them. Oh. This is just humiliating. I can't fucking believe this. Ooh. Oh fuck, I've wasted one. Oh. Please don't hit me, please don't hit me. Oh, there are more. Big fan of that. Oh my god! So many dogs. There's more of them.
How did not tech under the high?
Fuck! This feels rather hopeless. Oh no. Okay. Holy. Oh my god. Oh my. Fuck. Alright, I might try and cheese this a little. Oh. Fuck. Fuck. You could say things are getting a bit cheesy. Damn it. Fuck! If there's this many dogs in this fucking saloon, there's gotta be good shit in here, right? Right? Right! I wish Easy Pete was around. What the fuck?
Man, fighting this guy so much is gonna give me bad habits.
Yo. Use a shovel. Fuck! Get fucked. Oh man. You know, now that I have a shovel, perhaps I should go back to the canyon wreckage. Oh, fuck. Time to go to Sloan. Oh! Fucking hell. Pain. Well, maybe this route would be slightly better. Fuck.
Damn. Too tired to spin.
Yes. No.
Couldn't even do it now, wow.
Fuck. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, fuck. Oh, god damn it. Son of a bitch.
What a clash.
Yep.
I'm losing now? What the fuck happened?
Pawnee Springs. Could this be a safe haven? Or better yet, a place where I can lead the death claws into?
Unbelievable.
Oh my. I hate everything. What is it now? Oh. Fuck. Hope I'm not trapped here. Because, I can't fast travel. How the hell am I gonna complete this? Alright. We're back to relative safety. After this, I'm thinking I might recover with a nice regular playthrough. Fuck off. Fuck off. Holy shit. Okay. I'm shocked I just fucking did that. Wow. Alright. Whoa!
Guess he didn't see the
Level
second
2.
stab coming.
So what I've gathered
Maybe he
is
thought he
that
could get
sneak
that to me
is
before it got to him.
important. Also melee weapons. God damn. Holy shit. These are just traits. I might choose tag. And get survival.
Look at this dude.
Alright. Fuck. Yeah, this isn't a fight I'm gonna be winning. I'm outie.
Let's do this.
Oh, great. Fuck. Alright, I'm fucking running. This is hell. I need to get the fuck out of here. Might as well try to get into the NCRCF. Oh, fuck's sake. Killed by a dog. Large wild dog. Fuck. Alright. What did I expect? What a harebrained idea. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Who even was that? I do have a stealth boy, but I'm gonna want to conserve it for some very real challenges. Fuck! Could it be any worse timing? Bad time to say, but... Excuse me. But fuck it. We ball. Oh, god damn it. At least this guy doesn't have a gun. Get shitted on. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. Fuck. Son of a bitch. Well, maybe this is the time for the stealth boy. Oh, fuck. They can sense me anyway. Gotcha. Alright, I gotta get the maximum out of this fucking stealth boy. Great. Ooh. Ooh. Gotta say bye-bye to the NCR. Fuck. I forgot about that. Alright, I managed to make it to the funny path. I need to find some food. The Repcon HQ can't be overrun with... Oh, and they're all hostile. Nice. Alright, we're gonna have to say goodbye to old Sledgehammer. Wasted all of them.
Why did I crouch?
Maintenance robots in here don't seem to be trying to strangle the life out of me. I'd like a tour. Just open the fucking door. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, the fiends are still here.
He could run me out. I'm glad he
Now
did.
that brush gun is a good motherfucking weapon. And this tribal stalker armor gives me more sneak. And it weighs less. Oh shit.
Nobody ever wants to get calamity.
I could probably make healing powder out of these ingredients. So... Nice. This place actually seems remarkably safe. Boom. Terminal fucking mastermind. Right here. Fuck!
Hello, Mrs. Millet. I hope you have an excellent day at work today.
I'm having a shit day. Oh my god. 2 stim packs. 2
Alright.
of them. Oh shit. Oh
This has
my
got to be my
God.
last one. I'm so
Man,
hot
I
and
do not
sweaty and
wanna waste
tired.
This wasteland omelet.
I'm going to take a shower and take my ass to bed.
Damn it.
I can't take it no more, Grandpa.
Shit.
I'm tired of this
Fucker.
shit.
Let's do this.
I have high luck, right?
Therefore, access is restricted.
No!
Incorrect.
Alright. I think I gotta be real quick with this. Winning. Where's the safe? Okay, let me out. I'm leaving. Don't worry. Oh.
Therefore, access is restricted.
God damn it. Oh fuck. Wrong way. Oh. Always just waiting there. Like my balls. Oh my god. So quick with it, I can find that fucking plot. Shut the fuck up. They call me Speedy Gonzalez. And... Shut the fuck up. I'm leaving. Bye. None of this would have been any sort of issue if I just had 25 locked in. Alright, let me out. I don't feel like starving today. Shut the fuck up. Time to run. I assume there's still doing some shit in this fucking building. Oh my god. Holy mother of fuck. This is a big deal. What the fuck? Oh. What the? Holy shit. Things are starting to look up. This is insane. Alright. I've made it surprisingly far. I'm hearing the whispers for yanking around a corpse. Oh, come on. It's gonna have to be this way, isn't it? Shit. Karen Runway. Son of a bitch. Okay. But yeah, I think I'm gonna walk east away from the Karen.
I don't know why I did. I should have let the move impact that.
Grub and gold. Any grub and or
What was I
gold
thinking?
here? How many people?
Why dodge it then do it? That's so stupid.
Well, that's the end of that.
Thanks. Really appreciate what you did. Oh my. Yo. Oh, there's fucking beds here too. Things are looking up, man. They really are. Oh, fuck's sake. You get hungry so fast. This is just ridiculous. Anyway, where the fuck am I going? If I can find the shit that the Van Graffs raided, then we might have some good fucking armor on our hands. But honestly, sneak and walk speed is probably more important. Fuck.
Where are you going, boyo?
The fuck are you? Oh, Jesus. Son of a bitch. Who the fuck are these people? Where did they spawn? I don't remember this. Man, fuck that. I'm going up north.
God, it's so fucking hot, dude. I am dying. Ooh. So let's go find somebody to raid for the fun of it.
Can I get this tunnel?
Thanks again, David, for the sub, bro. That was super awesome. Let's see. Let's go. Hey, the guy I was just playing. Let's go.
Son of
Give
a
him
bitch.
some people.
These fucking tunnelers are the worst. Isn't the New Vegas
Let's
medical?
see if he's talking that good shit.
I will end this nightmare. Sacrifice your souls.
Interesting, very interesting. The emo taco leaves, Mr. Brown shows up, and then the taco shows up again. I have to think something's at play here. This doesn't feel... Is it me? Am I the missus? Oh, that hit. Yeah, but what if I do that? I was sent here for a good reason. I'm gonna break it to you pretty
Catch you boys
pretty
later.
easily, brother.